After a week of leaving this page, I'm back, and let's see, with a fresh look, and then see what is the next step in this drawing. When I look at the page the way it is right now, the first thing that comes to mind is, let me take a pencil to point, that the flowers and the leaves that Joanna Basford left without detail, they immediately catch my eye. So I think I'm going to do something with them. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give them a very basic light color, so that it becomes more clear what those leaves and flowers can do in this drawing. You may have watched the video in which I talk about my latest addition to all my pencils, and those are Irojiten pencils by Tombow. And I have a set with very pale colors, and I think that is very good for what I'm about to do, because I just want to give the flowers a very light touch of color to see where things are going. So I am going to use the lightest color in the set, and that is this light yellow called Eggshell. It is extremely light, and I'm just going to give, it is so light that it is hardly visible. Actually, on this paper, I see no difference at all. This paper is not completely white, it is off-white, and this eggshell is just not showing up, so I'm going for another color. Ecru, it says. It's pale, pinkish, salmon pinkish. Let's see if that is doing something. Well, this seems, it looks like a review. There is color coming, but it is very, very pale. And I think this one also, there is color coming, but I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to do a slightly darker color. I stick with the Tombow's Almond Blossom, and this one is showing a little bit of color, just enough. This is what I was looking for. Just a light touch of color. I'm just following my instinct. My instinct says, give these flowers and leaves some basic color, and then they will tell you where to go, in which direction the color should evolve. Here in the lower part there is a similar flower, so I will use the same color, Almond Blossom. These Irojiten pencils are wax based as far as I know. And I found out that they do particularly well on the paper in my Enchanted Forest book. I was a bit frustrated by that paper in the Enchanted Forest book, because it is so smooth that it feels that my pencils are slipping from the paper, and that I cannot be very precise in the details. But with this type of pencils, these Irojitens, I can be very precise. So now I'm going to add some green to those little leaves. I'm using this one, opal green. I think, wait a minute, there's another one, asparagus. Let's see if this one shows up, because I think this one is, yes, this is better. I'm glad I picked this one. The other one has a little bit of blue in it. It's a bit cooler tone of green. I prefer this one. Because these Tombow pencils are such a good match, they seem to be such a good match with my Enchanted Forest book, I am now thinking of buying the complete set of Irojiten pencils. Let's add some of this asparagus color to the other leaves as well. So I am now thinking about buying more Irojiten pencils. But I want to be sure and work a little bit more with the pencils, with the set that I do have right now. Because, you know, all those beautiful pencils, they are not cheap. And I want to be sure that I'm going to use them very often. Otherwise, it's better not to purchase them. I already know, I read in a review, somebody did the light fastness of these Irojitens testing. They are not light fast. But as long as you are not displaying your drawings, but keeping them in a closed book, so light is not, they are not getting too much light, then I think there's nothing wrong with these pencils. I'm having a bit of a cold, unfortunately. So it happened just overnight. Little bit of a sore throat. My nose is running. Well, I believe it's my first cold in, I don't know, I don't think, I had a cold in January, yeah. I almost forgot. I tend to forget the bad times, so also the illnesses. That's good, I think. Okay, let's now add some color to these flowers, and I'm going to use a light yellow, but not the Tombow because it won't show up, won't be visible. But this desert yellow, I used it before. It's one of the Bruinzeels. I'm going to use that one. We are having a couple of beautiful days over here in the Netherlands. With a lot of sunshine, slightly higher temperatures. If the sun is shining, it can be pretty hot already. So the gardening season has begun. And well, we have a supermarket here. It's called Albert Heijn. I think it's the most famous supermarket in the Netherlands. And they have something very nice going on. They started doing it last year in early spring, and they continue doing this year. And that is with every 15 euros, I believe, you spend, you get a tiny how do you call it? It is a small package with some soil and seeds, so you can grow your own vegetables. And well, it's about the time that the first vegetables should be seeded, so I'm going to do that the next couple of days. And with this beautiful weather, it's really I really feel like wanting to grow my own crops. But it's not that easy. It requires a lot of special knowledge. And lucky me, my father used to have greenhouses where he grew tomatoes and cucumber, lettuce, cauliflower, you name it. So he was a farmer, some sort of a farmer. I am now using the yellow-green. It won't be long until this pencil is gone. So when it comes to growing crops, I don't know anything. So I asked my father some advice when to grow which crops, because the supermarket isn't really telling you. They just say, well, plant them and they will grow, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. I also did something very bad today in the garden, but I committed murder. We are having a lot of boxwood in the garden, and since a couple of years there is this tiny moth from Japan or something Asian. They come from Asia, they don't belong here. Neither does the boxwood, but okay. And this boxwood is the favorite food of this moth. And this moth has caterpillars. I'm going to use moss green, again bruinzeel. I thought I already was recording, but I wasn't. So here I am using this one, moss green, bruinzeel. So I commit a crime today because I was killing caterpillars from the boxwood moth. We have a lot of boxwood in our garden. And we are been seeing this little caterpillar in Europe for about 5 years, I think. It doesn't belong here, it comes from Asia, but somehow it got here. And this caterpillar lives in the boxwood, and within a couple of days your complete shrub is destroyed because they eat like crazy. So last year I tried some sort of poison, but it didn't really work. It didn't kill them. So I decided to catch them, and that took me many hours. I got a very hurt back because of bending over and over again in search of this tiny creature. And eventually I think I've caught in total about 1,500, way over 1,000 caterpillars. I'm going to use this one, olive yellow, and I will use this on top of the moss green. I just look. Now this is nice. It pulls the colors together. So yesterday I saw the first caterpillars, and after the winter, they are not here in winter. So luckily one of my acquaintances has been growing boxwood as a profession. He's a professional boxwood grower. This is another one, green olive, permanent green olive. This is one of my absolute favorite polychromos colors. I'm using this over here as well. So this professional boxwood man told me to use a particular type of poison. So I bought it this morning. And I've used it already, but I am having mixed feelings about it, because you know every poison you use is just, it's bad for the environment. You don't only kill those caterpillars, but you kill a lot more animals. So I don't want to use that poison too much. And if it is, if I need to use it too often, I will decide to get rid of the boxwood and put other plants in our garden. Because I don't want our garden to be a chemical wasteland. So let's take a look. Well, those little leaves are doing pretty well. And I can use the same colors on the other leaves here and there. I will definitely do that. But I think that is nice homework. Now I also have to do a lot more work on the background. But I'm not so sure yet how that will, what to do. Some of you have posted your work on my Facebook page, on the Passion for Pencils Facebook page. I really like that, so please keep posting your progress so I can steal some good ideas from you. And I can tell you I am stealing good ideas. Now these yellow flowers, they need some more attention. I really feel they need to be yellow, but they need to have more different colors of yellow. So I'm using this one, the Polychromos Light Yellow Glaze. It's a very bright one. I'm using just a light touch again. And I'm putting this on the areas where there is not much color yet. Many pencil brands are working on making environmental friendly pencils. For example, Faber-Castell has its own woods where it grows the trees. And they try to do that in an environmental friendly way. I believe they have wood somewhere. I believe it is somewhere in South America, but could be mistaken. They are using the paint on the pencil, on the outside of the pencil. I read that is environmental friendly as well. So let's take a look from afar. This looks good. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. I am going to use this one, cadmium yellow. I made a sharp point, so I can add a little detail here and there. And again, I am first adding this color in the areas where there is white paper left. Those are small areas. And again, I'm using a light touch. Now there's not really a plan I do not have a plan with this flower. I just let the flower surprise me. Somewhere in the process the pencil will do something that that is the right decision, and then I will continue with that. When I'm trying new things, most of the times the second flower or the second leaf that I color in this quest reveals the right way to do it, but sometimes it can take longer. So this is the result so far, and I'm really pleased about these yellow flowers. They look a bit flat, yes, two-dimensional, and I want them to look three-dimensional in the end, so there needs to be there's some work to do there. So this is it for this episode. And well, I wish you a lot of happy coloring, and until next time, bye bye.